Is that it? Or we have one more? We have one more piece of DJI news.
One more.
But
yeah,
this is cool because this is news about the team that has rooted the DJI goggles and is going in there and just effing things up to give us what DJI never would. Oops, wrong title there.
Yeah. This is essentially a proof of concept. It is working if you really are a tinkering person. You could go and find this, but we did not link it to you on purpose because it is real early. But most of this is done. And right now, this is on DJI goggles. There's no trickery here. There's nothing crazy fancy going on. There's basically just a layer, an extra layer they've done. And essentially, you're seeing the full analog OSD on DJI goggles working properly. It's got a little bit of latency, but it's not bad. And basically how they're doing it is taking over the top layer of the goggle. So like the top layer of the goggle, that layer part gives you all kinds of different pieces, and that's being replaced by this. So it does mean you lose a ton of functionality.
Like I don't see the goggle OSD, for example.
Yes. Yeah. So essentially it removes the radio, like a radio CP layer from it. It removes a display of UI, and it removes recording video. However, those layers are gone, but they're interaction layers, so they could be added back through code. So it does look like it's possible that in a release, you could see back a function to record that's just integrated into the code for this MSP Displayport function.
So the takeaway here is that this is 100% a proof of concept and not in any way a usable thing. Well, but
it's usable if you're a real hacky person and you're already doing this kind of stuff and you know about Android NDKs and stuff. Like if all that stuff makes sense to you, then yes. But
I mean, the fact that you don't have access to the DJI menu to me would be like you can't do things like change your camera settings. I mean, I think most people would say that this is still proof of concept.
Essentially how you use it right now, if you want to, is you get everything ready, you get set up to fly, the quad set up and all your camera settings and everything's set, and then you trigger this to take over the goggle, and then you fly with OSD.
Yeah.
Kind of like the process currently.
And it adds a little latency, you said?
Not to the video, but to the OSD, yeah.
Oh,
because it's just over the video. It's not like stealing it.
So what I take from this is that these guys are making progress.
Yes,
toward giving us features like MSP Displayport, and so forth.
There's another one today that's not even far enough to like show you anything about, but somebody figured out how to port live audio. Funnel figured out how to port live audio out of the air unit. It's got about 100 to 200 milliseconds of audio latency, but currently you can get live audio through the goggles from the air unit currently.
I knew that it was possible. I knew that thing had a microphone, and there had to be a way to send it over the data link.
Today, like 5 of the guys were sitting around with Matt's Tech, looking through all the way the channels and everything are sent to figure out how to beat the 13.3 kilometer limit. They were talking about how all the stuff works and which variables it would be and how you would control it and how all the LTE stuff works. If you're an LTE engineer, or if you know anything about this stuff, please go to the fpv.wtf. They really need your help over there because they need to know more about LTE. So, it's just really awesome, and this is just the beginning, I think.
Yeah. Do we know if the Betaflight OSD is recorded in the DVR, or is it after the DVR?
Because you're overriding. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, the DVR is one of the functions that you've taken away.
The recording is gone, yes. So when this is released, hopefully there'll be a new recording layer added.
What they're going to need to do is essentially rewrite the entire interface of the goggle to give you back those functions.
Yes. Yeah, basically replicate the functionalities through that layer.
I mean, that's not the end of the world. It's at the end of the day, it's only, let's say it's 50 functions in that menu. I don't know the actual number, but like, I'm not, so you just have to map the user interface to the underlying functions.
I was going to say, I think it's just, the UI mapping part. Like everything in the back is still there. You just got to do the mapping part. So.
Yeah. I mean, which don't mean to, it's going to be a ton of work, but it doesn't sound like it is a architectural problem. It's just a pain in the ass.
Yeah. And
that's really something.
Again, we're just seeing what's possible. People are diving in and digging in more and figuring more out. So
now, is this code that is running on the goggles? Or is it code that is running off the goggle and then feeding the image to the goggle? Have they actually hacked new code into the goggles? Do we know that?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I believe they're pushing code into the air unit and the goggle. Yes, that is correct. Yeah.
Amazing.
I'm looking at the GitHub right now. Yeah, it's basically pushing code to both sides. So.
Amazing. Yeah. So I'm so excited about this. Not just because it's so excited because it's so cool to see like freaking superheroes gutting this impenetrable fortress. It's like watching Ocean's 11, where they go into the casino and they rob the vault. It's so cool.
Bri 3D is in chat, and he is the one who did this MSP code. And he says, you cannot record the OSD. It's really difficult because of the way he's adding it. He can bring DVR back so you could record the video under it. Mm-hmm. But then he could provide the data and draw the OSD back in post like we do otherwise.
Right. So you can easily record the data and then redraw it in post. That's trivial. Yeah. I'm so excited about this. I mean, this is going to breathe new life. For everybody who heard that the V3 goggle is coming and got mad, this is the silver lining in a way. Yeah. That these guys are going to absolutely just tear the shit out of the V2 goggle and give us everything we wanted. And there's no, I mean, I'm fantasizing, right? But I want it to be true, and I hope it will be.
Yeah, so. I think the only layer that they can't really get to is like the RTOS, like the actual, like there's some over-the-air code that's not controlled by variables in the software, I think, generally speaking, like that you can easily get to. And I think that's where it's going to be, like there may be a couple things in there that you can't really do. But yeah, but otherwise, I mean, it's just really cool how open this is, and more and more exciting. We'll keep letting you know.
I wish we lived in a world where DJI would just open source it and give it to us.
Yep.
Yeah.